In just the past 10 days, Donald Trump has suggested that, unfortunately or fortunately, stars have been able to grab women by the private parts for millions of years, praised January 6th as a beautiful day, and said that he would pardon most of the people convicted that day, called a black police officer who shot and killed January 6th writer Ashley Babbitt a thug, referred to a woman he had just been found liable of sexually assaulting as a whack job, said that Republicans should allow the country to default on its debt, refused to say whether he wanted Ukraine to win the war with Russia, admitted he purposely removed classified documents from the White House as he was leaving the presidency, refused to say he would concede the 2024 election if he lost, and suggested his child separation policy at the border worked as it was intended. That was all in one town hall that lasted just over an hour. What's clear from Trump's town hall performance is that if you thought his first term in office was over the top, you ain't seen nothing yet. The New York Times put it this way in a recent piece, and I'm going to quote from it here. Mr. Trump's provocations were hardly shocking. His time in office was often defined by the rules don't apply to me approach to governance and a lack of interest in upholding the post-World War II national security order. And at 76, he is not bound to change much. The Times went on to say this. But his performance nonetheless signaled an escalation of his bid to bend the government to his wishes as he runs again for the White House, only this time with a greater command of the Republican Party's pressure points and a plan to demolish the federal bureaucracy. Now, it's worth remembering that Trump's utter disregard for norms or rules picked up considerable momentum as his first term wore on. Remember that as it became more and more clear that he would be the Republican nominee in 2016, Trump tried to suggest he would moderate his natural outsider instincts to respect the office of the presidency. I will be so presidential, you will be so bored, Trump said in April 2016. You'll say, can he have a little more energy? And once he was elected, Trump sought to bring in establishment voices and seemed willing to throw them bones when it came to his cabinet picks. Installing Rex Tillerson, for example, the former head of Exxon, as Secretary of State, was seen as a Trumpian olive branch to the party establishment he ran against in 2016. And even well into his first term, the first year for sure, there were active debates about whether the presidency would change Trump for the better. Now, by the second half of his term, those debates were over. Trump had fired and/or run off any advisors who tried to constrain his natural instincts for chaos and norm busting. In his final 2 years in office, he took to appointing acting cabinet secretaries, bypassing the Senate confirmation process and giving more operational control to him over all elements of the federal bureaucracy. I like acting. It gives me more flexibility, Trump told reporters in 2019. Do you understand that? I like acting. So we have a few that are acting. We have a great cabinet. By the end of his term, Trump was actively trying to overturn the results of a presidential election, going as far as to call the Georgia Secretary of State and ask him to find votes that would make Trump the actual winner. By the way, at the CNN town hall, Trump said he was owed those votes. The point is that there was a clear movement over the course of Trump's term to an increased ease with flouting norms. Like his lying while in office, it started relatively slowly and just kept picking up speed as he went along. Which means that if he is elected again, he will almost certainly pick up where he left off. There will be no attempts to reach out to the party establishment or to put on a show of normality. It will be Trump unbound, all day, every day. There's also plenty of reason to believe that Trump will push even further into uncharted territory if he's elected to a second term. Remember that at heart, Trump is a reality TV personality. This was true, by the way, even before the concept of reality TV even existed. He wants and needs eyeballs on him. And the only way to ensure that you keep the public's interest is to do things that are increasingly outlandish and outside the bounds. Need evidence? Watch the show Jackass over the years. Or look at the Joker meme the former president sent out on Truth Social after the town hall. Now, Trump knows all of this innately, and he also now knows, far better than he did when he first ran for office, what a president can do if he's willing to push hard enough. Not for nothing, Trump is helped by the consolidation of power within the executive branch that has been ongoing since at least George W. Bush's presidency. The president now retains more power than at any point in the past few decades. So what? Trump's actions since becoming a candidate again all point to the likelihood that he will seek to fundamentally remake our notions of what a president can and can't do in office, which means he will push beyond the boundaries he already stretched during his first term. The real question, how far can those boundaries stretch before they break?